Hi everyone, my name is Kes and I collect, and today I want to give you some tips on how to start collecting. I got this question a couple of times and I was like, okay, I want to make the most detailed explanation I possibly can, so I want to make a YouTube video about it, how you can start collecting, and anyone can do this. Age also doesn't matter. Of course, if you're an adult, you will have a little bit more money to spend than if you're a kid, but I think it's totally possible for every single age group. Now, of course, this is my personal list that I would like to give you as little tips that can help your collecting journey go smoother and be more enjoyable, which is obviously the goal here because collecting should be fun. If you have anything to add, that's totally fine. Let me know in the comments down below because I'm pretty sure this list could be super long. I'm just gonna name a few things that I think are very important. So, let's get started. Number one, and I think this is a very important one, make some friends. Now, it can be really hard in real life to find people from your city or from your country that are also into doll collecting. Like, how do you meet doll collectors? It's pretty difficult in the real world. But luckily, there is social media. You have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, so many places where you can find other doll collectors that are just as passionate about collecting on dolls as you are. This is where I met a lot of amazing people, mainly on Instagram. It's just amazing to talk to others about dolls, you know, because sometimes your family might not fully accept it or might not fully understand what you're talking about. So to discuss all the doll tea with your friends online is amazing. Luckily, I have a best friend that lives 5 minutes away from me who is just as passionate about collecting as I am, so I'm very lucky, but I understand that not everyone has that. So definitely make some friends online. And of course, if you have questions about collecting, you can always ask those doll friends. I'm sure that almost everyone would be happy to answer your questions. And to have someone to talk to or multiple people to talk to about your passion can make you feel less alone because sometimes doll collecting is misunderstood. To have online friends that just understand your passion and will lift you up is just amazing in my opinion. That brings me to the second tip. Don't listen to the haters. Don't let anyone stop you from doing what you want to do and doing what you love because you are put on this planet for you and you only. So yes, you can live your life pleasing someone else's expectations and their needs, or you can live on this planet as you and just be yourself, do what you love, and ignore all the other people because everyone has their own passion and hobbies and there's not one that's better than the other one, you know? And doll collecting is very harmless. Of course, there are toxic things in the doll community which are definitely really bad. I tend to stay out of the drama and honestly, I haven't had any problems so far. I understand that as a kid it can be difficult if your parents aren't as accepting about the dolls. I don't have much experience with it like as a kid because my parents were always very accepting of my passion and my obsession and addiction. I just really hope that parents will eventually understand if they see how much joy it will bring you if you collect dolls. And also, it's a very creative output. You can create stories with dolls, you can create anything with dolls because it's a fantasy world and it doesn't have to be real, and I think that's something that some parents really need to realize, that it's very healthy for the brain, for the development. And I would also suggest if you think the hate is getting too much and you're getting too much hate from your environment, please just talk to other collectors because I think they can definitely make you feel better. My DMs are always open. I try to respond to every single one. I always read every single DM, so if you ever feel down or you feel unheard or you just want to talk about dolls, I'm almost always on Instagram, so you can definitely send me a message. It's really important in my opinion to talk about it, you know, because unfortunately it's not accepted everywhere and not all parents like it or friends or partners even, but please don't stop. I hear so many people who were pressured to get rid of their collection who regret that, and I used to be kind of embarrassed but not really. Like, I didn't spread the word that I was collecting dolls, but if it came up I wouldn't like deny it or anything. It would just be like, yeah, okay, so it's just a hobby, you know? I really don't see the difference between doll collecting and collecting video games or playing video games. You are living in a fantasy world, me too, I just do it in a different physical way. The next one is do your research. Now this is mainly important for yourself. So if you don't want to overspend on dolls that are just not worth that price point, educate yourself on the realistic price points for certain dolls. It can be crazy out there sometimes, like on Amazon, eBay, on all thrifting apps, and maybe even in thrift stores, that the prices are just ridiculous and that people actually think they are worth that price point, which they're not, okay? Educate yourself on what the original price was, how rare it is, and what the price is now. A lot of doll collectors do know these prices. Unfortunately, it's a little more difficult because prices are very different in each country. So it really depends on where you're from. That is just something to look out for, to not overspend. Because if you don't overspend, you have more money for more dolls. Next tip, don't buy from scalpers. Now, I understand the temptation. There are some people online that want to sell their dolls for more than they're worth. They just buy dolls to make money. And of course, maybe some old collectors join this and they see these scalping prices and they just think that that is the regular price for them to go for. I just honestly think it's ridiculous sometimes. I understand that if it's your dream doll that you would spend a little bit more money on it, but try to minimalize. Because if we stop buying, they'll have to lower the prices. Because if it's not selling, it's not selling, and that was their whole purpose. And also, Monster High is coming back, so there will be plenty of dolls brand new in stores for regular prices. So if you're not too picky and you don't necessarily want the older ones, please wait for that because they will be here very, very soon. The Cree productions are actually already out. So those are the first wave dolls, and it's Treculor, Frankie Claudine, and Laguna. So I think it's worth more to buy those instead of the scalping prices that some people sell the originals for. The next tip, where to buy your dolls. Okay, so again, this is very, very different in each country. So I can only speak from my point of view, which is a European point of view from the Netherlands. I like to use Vinted. I think it's a very, very nice thrifting app. It's super safe. You can barely get scammed because the seller will only receive the money once they send the item to you and you confirm that the item is okay and completely like the description and the picture. If you say it's not okay or it's different, the person won't be receiving their money. You can return the item and get your money back. That is my favorite thrifting app to use. Unfortunately, thrift stores in my country don't have a lot of dolls. Some of them do. I just am very unlucky and I barely find any dolls, especially dolls I still need or still want. For me, Vinted is definitely the best option. We also have Marktplaats, which is also a Dutch thrifting app. I just think it's a little bit more unsafe, but I did see some people getting really, really lucky with what they found on there. And for the US, I think eBay and Amazon are the main thrifting websites you can use, and thrift stores are definitely worth checking out. I honestly don't know much about other thrift stores. If I were you, I would Google like thrifting apps in your country because I think you will find a couple of options that you could use. Another tip is to check your friends' old dolls. Some people have friends or had friends in the past that used to collect dolls and maybe they want to get rid of them or they just don't need them anymore or they are planning to donate them. You can ask if you can buy them from them or if you can have them as a gift, so you can start your collection for maybe even for free or for a small amount of money. Maybe some friends do know the worth of the prices, which is totally fine too, and you can pay the fair price for each doll. Of course, because it's your friend, it will be a trustworthy source and you'll probably get the dolls very fast, so that is definitely a really, really good option. Personally, my sister used to collect with me as well, so I bought a couple of dolls from her. Of course, she was a collector, so she knows their worth, and I paid the fair price for some of her dolls. So siblings work too, I guess, as long as they don't play with them anymore or use them anymore. Also, when buying dolls, make sure the house that they're displayed in is smoke-free. You can ask the seller if they smoke inside their house, because the smoking scent can be really, really hard to get rid out of the doll's hair and their clothes. I'll definitely watch out for that. I did buy some dolls that had smoke smell and I just personally think it's disgusting. I really hate the smell of smoke. And personally, what I look for when I buy dolls is if they are complete. That is something that's very important to me because I really want my Monster High dolls to have all their accessories and even their brushes. If it's a black brush, I don't care that much because I have a ton of those. But if it's a specific color brush and stand, I definitely want those with the doll. Not everyone thinks like this though. Some people think it's most important if their outfit is complete and their jewelry and accessories and their bags. And also if the doll is more complete, she can be worth more than if she's incomplete. So definitely watch out for that. So don't buy incomplete dolls for the complete price. I wouldn't do that. So some dolls are very, very hard to find and have just a limited amount created. So finding the missing accessories is almost impossible. So I would definitely look out for those. If there is a more rare doll or a more expensive doll, make sure she's complete. Another collecting tip. Once you have your collection of 2, 3, 4 dolls, or maybe even more, try to keep them out of the sun. My dolls used to be displayed in my other room, which is my own personal room. This room used to be my sister's, but she lives with my mom, so I transformed it into a Monster High room with my sister's permission, of course. And a lot of my dolls are very, very yellowed. Now, the yellowing can be fixed in some cases with acne cream and a light bulb, but it also makes the plastic very fragile. I had this with my Create a Monster vampire girl. When I tried to undress her, she was so yellowed that the plastic was so fragile. Her neck was literally crumbling. So that is definitely something to look out for if you don't want your dolls to damage too much. There are also some doll hair cleaning techniques. Honestly, I have 0 tips for you because I am not a cleaning queen. So definitely check out tutorials online on YouTube, for example, or maybe even on TikTok and Instagram on how to clean dolls' hair. Because some dolls have like glue seepage, some dolls have like weird hair shapes and they need to be boil washed. There are lots and lots of techniques. Even how to create curls in your doll's hair, so definitely check those out. Now for the space situation. Not everyone has a whole room dedicated to their dolls. I am very much aware of that. There are a lot of creative ways to put your dolls anywhere almost. You could put them on your desk, you could hang them from your ceiling even if you have no space on the ground. If your collection gets bigger, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but there is always space to make. So be creative. You can do it. Also, this isn't really a tip, but I just think it's really fun to do. Support each other. It is so much fun to support other people when they're collecting and to hype them up and like, yeah, you do that, yeah, oh my gosh. It feels great if someone is supportive of you, you know? I like the feeling of being supported, so I would love to give it to other people as well. So I like to respond sometimes to people's collection or to people's posts. Some people are so talented with the content they create, like the pictures and the videos and everything. And just support in general is really, really important, I think. You know, once in a while, try to compliment someone's collection or try to compliment someone's pictures, and you will make the doll community a better place because it is all about us, you know? If we decide to make it a better place, it will be a better place. Of course, there will always be some sour prunes in there, but we can ignore them. So that was my video. I hope these tips helped you, or at least one of them maybe. If you have more tips, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I can learn something from you guys. That would be amazing. Thank you everyone for watching, and I see you guys in my next video. Bye!